Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good day to you all. Hopefully you had a nice evening of rest, a night. As people log in, just practice being present. Breathe, inhabit, feel, and observe. Manasvin Nivedin Garimashanti. Manasvin Nivedin Garimashanti. Pay attention to the principles of entropy that we have learned in the last 2 weeks. Breathe deeply. Buenos días a todo. Creo que, I'll say the next phrase in Spanish. Creo que por algunas semanas no tenemos de traducción en vivo en español. Así es. All right. The last 2 weeks we spoke of entropy and the inherent chaos of the universe. We will continue in this line, but like I said last week, this week will be a bit more technical and a bit more practical. Okay. Try to keep your eyes open during the entire process, but you can close your eyes if you needed to visualize. Usually we close our eyes to visualize something. Now I'm going to ask you to visualize while being present. Okay. So eyes open if you can, which is weird to visualize something while you're looking at a class. Let's try it. See what happens. Pay attention to the body. Manasvin Nivedin Garimashanti. And thinking about the principles of entropy. The cells in your body. Constant change. Constantly different. Alive. In motion. Let's push this principle of entropy further. Not a single ray of light has been made identical to another in the history of the universe. Yet there is always light. Let's not get complicated. There is always light, except in the dark. Yeah, I get it, but there is always light. At some point, somewhere. Not a single ray of light has ever been the same. The light that shines through your window, the particles are always using a different path. The cells in your body, not a single cell is completely identical to any other cell or any that ever existed in the history of your body. Entropy, always change. This is how evolution is ensured. There's always change. Now we'll combine these two principles, the entropy of cells and the entropy of light, okay? little guided contemplation. Imagine there is light in your body. It's a mystical kind of thing. There is light in the heavens. We could say there's light in the sky above you, but there's light in the mystical sky above you also, the heavens, the other planes, the spiritual world. There's light in your body, and there is light in the spiritual world. Contemplating to the light in your body and in the mystical world causes them to be in tune. Pay attention to your cells. Relax and deepen your breathing. There is light in your cells. There is light in the heavens. Contemplating that light in both places, in your body, in your cells, and in the mystical planes, causes a syntony between them. We just contemplate it. And you breathe deeply into it. Breathe into your body, inhabit the body, feel and observe that contemplation. If you have practiced siddhi meditation, you'll have a deeper feeling than if you have not. If you practice the siddhis of Krishna, anima, for example, you'll feel even deeper and more refined what happens in your cell from your global perspective, but very refined. But it's okay if you have not. You'll feel something. That's what matters. The light in your body, the light in your cells, the light in the heavens. That causes a syntony between both. All right, deep breath and relax. In your body, there are bacteria and cells. These bacteria, most of them are good for you. Some are indifferent, not good, not bad. And some are bad for you. Now, what does it mean? It's not very complicated. Most of them support your life. Some of them doesn't matter. They're just there, trying to live. And a few of them are hindering your health. In any ecosystem of bacteria, there's a bacteria that thrives in a specific environment. And the bacteria that thrives in your environment, in your body, it thrives in your body and it realizes that, not intellectually, it doesn't have a refined intellect, but in nature it knows. Call it Darwinism. So this bacteria wants to keep your body alive because it's in your live body that it thrives. So we have a lot of good bacteria. Okay. In the mind, we have a lot of good thoughts. We have some thoughts that are neutral, indifferent, and some thoughts that are negative or against our well-being. But the majority of our thoughts are beneficial to us. We tend to pay attention mostly to the negative thinking or the neutral thinking, but most of our thoughts are beneficial. In the subconscious and in the conscious. Because we're dramatic people, it doesn't always seem like that. However, it is the case. Or else you would be insane. Like, let's not joke about this. Let's not do sarcasm, but I am insane. No, you're not. Okay, most of us are not. In humanity, most humans are good people. And a few of them are really gray people, indifferent. Most are doing their best with the information they have, with the education they have, the culture they have. Most people are good people. And there are a few that are indifferent, that it changes nothing if they exist or not. And a few are bad people. What does it mean, bad people? Not as a judgment, but just the fact that they did not contribute to the well-being of others or themselves. But most people are good people, doing their best. And the motion of people is entropic. In your body, the motion of your cells and the bacteria in your body is entropic. And the light in the sky, physical sky and metaphysical sky, is entropic. It always shines differently. Which means at one point it will bring light in the most unexpected places. Now that we've done a parenthesis, or we swayed into a weird entropy kind of mostly everything is good, let's just go back to the contemplation. You feel your body, the cells that make up your organs, your muscle and bones and blood, and the bacteria that thrive in there. It's basically what makes up your body. And there is light in your cells. There is light in the heavens. And just contemplate it and deepen and slow your breath comfortably. Light in the heavens, light in the body. Now this light is not necessarily physical light. That's a scientific fact. There are photons of light in your body. So little that it seems to be dark, but there are photons of light in your body. When scientific people put a photon meter in front of our body, like they put it in the air, there's a certain quantity of photons. But in a pure dark room, they can sense coming out of our body a few photons per second. But around this area, it's 10 times more. Like instead of 20 photons per second come out of our body anywhere, there's 200 per second that come out from here. That's an extremely small amount of light. Now, the numbers I just said are inaccurate. I don't remember exactly. There's an actual measure, okay? I forgot. I read that about 30 years ago, so I forgot the numbers. But there's light coming out of our body because we're alive. Physical light. Such a small level that it's almost nothing. Creatures that are fluorescent emit light at a point that it is visible. We are not fluorescent. We do emit light, but not to the point that it is visible to the human eye. But there is always physical light in our body and in our cells. And that's quite interesting because it's a medical, physical, scientific fact. There's always light inside. Reference, Google. That's my reference. 30 years ago, there was no Google, so it was an article somewhere. But just check it out. It's easy. But thank you for asking for the reference. That's actually, we need that. There's always photons emitted by our body. And that's quite interesting. I'm pretty sure in the last 30 years, a lot of research has been done. But you see, today's class, we do a bit of contemplation. We go away into other fields, we talk, and then we come back to the contemplation. We try to keep this movement, the entropy of light, the entropy of the cells in our body. There is light in our cells. There is light in the heavens. You contemplate both and they synchronize. Light in the heavens, light in the body. Deep, comfortably slow breath. And constant evolution. Now, this is a simple mantra. There's light in the heavens, there's light in the body. I forgot the Sanskrit. Light in the heavens, light in the body. The mantra is like Yota Hakasha, Yota Hadeha, but it's a bit more complex to make it grammatically correct phrases. But it's okay. Doesn't matter really. It's a contemplation. The breath is slow and deep. Breathe, inhabit, feel, and observe. Manasvin Nivedin Gadima Shanti. And in the Nivedin part, the awakening of light in the body. Manasvin Nivedin Gadima Shanti. The awakening of light in the body. There's light in the heavens, there's light in the body. The cells fill with light. All right, deep breath. Let's add this component, what we talked before. Whereas the heavens is too complicated for this contemplation. Let's not answer that. It's everywhere. Let's just say this. Most of the cells that compose our body are good, the great majority. A few are neutral and some are negative. You have to be wise enough to accept there is negativity in your mind. There is negativity in the body. Be wise enough to recognize that there is some, but most of it is good. Those who dream that there is never anything negative, that wants it so much to be positive that they ignore there's nature going on. That means there's a fight, there's a turbulence. If we ignore that, we disconnect from the actual facts. The more we refuse nature as it is, the less connected we are with it. So if we contemplate the body and we want to heal the body, and we contemplate every cell in my body is healing, every cell is happy, I breathe out the negative, there is no more negative. If we have that attitude, it's positive, it's wishful thinking, it's what we usually do in the New Age world. But the fact that we deny nature as it is, there's that little connection missing to the truth. If you contemplate your body, accept the truth the great majority of your cells thrive to live, because that's a fact. And some cells are useless or neutral, and some cells are negative. They go against the system. If you accept that, you accept the facts. By accepting the facts, you connect more to your body, because you say, this is how things are. If you look at society, if you look at the world, there are mostly good humans that care for their neighbor and their friends, their family, that shout negativities once in a while, that get angry on the road driving, that criticize politicians, but do their best with their fellow humans, smile a lot, forgive more often than we can believe. There is a lot of good people in this world, and a few neutral and a few negative that go against the system. And in the body is the same. If you accept nature as it is, and accept we are still in the jungle with stuff going on, and entropy constantly bringing a bit of change, that connects you deep in a reality. Gives you more access to manifestation, because you accept things as they are. We don't like dirt. It's wise to not like dirt in some areas, in your house and in your body. It's wise to not like dirt, because dirt carry bacteria. What makes us, the feeling of disgust with certain things? When I clean the dishes in the sink, and some food trash end up in the sink, and I have to pick it up with my hands and I throw it in the trash, I'm okay with it. But when I saw my sons, I remembered how I was as a teenager. I saw my sons clean the dishes the other day, and he put his hands, completely disgusted with putting his hand in the biological mush of the food that was just like clogging the sinkhole, and he had to pick it up, and it was a trial for him. And I remembered, oh yeah, there was a time I reacted like this with nature. I found it so funny. What causes disgust? Que asco. What causes that? Is the fact that we know that there's a possible sickness in this kind of dirt, this kind of trash. Okay? We know this through experience. Our body knows sickness is possible. That's what frightens us. Okay? Sickness can be brought to us through virus or through bacteria. Okay? There's another kind of sickness which is biological decay from inside. But when it comes from outside, it's through virus or bacteria. We get virus infections from other living beings, usually humans, and we get bacteria infections from things, objects, usually biological stuff. And that's why we want to keep our environment clean. Okay? And that's what makes us feel the disgust towards nature. Okay? Now, this is something important to look at and to embrace. Wise enough to keep your environment clean, but to integrate the emotion and the reaction in the body about the disgust of dirt. Because dirt is reality. Dirt is in nature, okay? And we walk in the sand on the beach and we're fine. There's bacteria in there. There's any cause of sickness on the sand of the beach. But because we're having fun, we just go and we enjoy. We like to walk, I like to walk in the forest barefoot. Not the deep forest, because it can hurt my feet. But, the forest that is cared for, the parks, just walk naked on the grass in front of my home. barefoot, not naked. Yeah, there was a time I was naked when I owned the premise, but now it's an apartment. So yeah, now we walk barefoot. Would be fun to walk naked and have the cars go by. Hey, hello. You see, the contact with nature and what gives us the disgust of dirt, it's important to integrate the emotions we have, because we need to remain in harmony with nature, to accept what it is. The more reactive we are to nature, the more distant we are from it. It is through wisdom and prudence that we keep our environment clean, not through fear and reaction. So just look at how you react to dirt. And this is how you react to entropy also. I guess a lot of this would make sense if you had already realized all the ramification of how nature is. The goal of this little speech here is to teach you how to deepen your contact with nature. Wise enough to stay clean, wise enough to embrace contact with nature, and transmute the disgust in prudence. Now, there are things that don't disgust me, that disgust others, but there are things that do disgust me in nature. And things that frighten me also in nature. Not all spiders, but some spiders. And bees and wasps, past trauma. 2 events in my life where I got stung by bees a bit too much, and my body remembers like destroy them all, eliminate the bees from the planet. This is my reaction in my body. In my mind, I know how bees are important to the system, but I'm afraid. Okay, I work on it, and sometimes I look at a bee. There's fear. I don't react. I just look at it. So I understand there are things that, I'm still human, of course. So you have to look at yourself and ask yourself, where am I putting distance between myself and nature? What brings me disgust? And it's acceptable. It's okay. Embrace nature as much as you can. Wise enough to keep yourself and your environment clean. Wise enough to embrace nature as it is. Good. We're going back to our contemplation. Breathe, inhabit, feel, and observe. Manasvin nivedin garimashanti. Light in the cells, light in the heavens. Contemplating both causes a syntony between planes. And the light in your body and the light in the heavens vibrate and shine together. Brings a truth in your body, brings life in the body. Light in the body, light in the heavens. Breathe. Slowly and comfortably. When you practice visualizing with your eyes open, you can close your eyes if you must, but let's say you train visualizing the light in your body with your eyes closed. And then keep that image and open your eyes and look at the class and look around you, but keep the image in the mind, the light in the body, the light in the heavens. And just keep it up. Keep it rich and alive. All right. Lighten the body, lighten the heavens. Contemplate both at the same time and they syntonize and vibrate. The goal of today's class will make sense if you practice. Accepting entropy, accepting facts as they are, resolving the reaction of disgust towards nature. Keep the prudence for your health, but embrace nature as it is. And deeply and slowly, comfortable, we breathe. All right. That is the practice this week for those who want to do it once in a while, especially in the evening when you go back to bed. Just be in touch with the entropy, the mass of the body, and you bring this light aspect. That practice just tunes you into deep connection with nature. That's what it does. All right. Peace, guys. See you next week.